Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl, Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. I hope you guys are having a lovely Saturday evening now. Yes, I was on earlier, and I think it screwed a lot of people up. They're like, wait, I missed it. You didn't miss a blessed thing. Okay. So if you do want to see that recording, I was basically looking over some PSAT questions, and I just figured, you know what? Let me come on here and see if I can break some of these concepts down, do the recording while doing content. At the same time, if anyone shows up, they do. Bada boom, bada bing. There's over 400 people in the live. Everything is looking pretty good. And of course, the Amber Alert came on through. So a lot of people thought I just dismissed everyone, but people came back. So that's what's happening. But what we're going to do for tonight, and we're going to hold true to hopefully like an hour, if not an hour and 15 minutes, because girl is getting busy. So we are going to learn how to find the equation of the line, either looking at tables, and also we're going to reuse some of the points that we did for finding the slope. And I'm going to show you how to find the equation of the line. So without having all this out here, I'm just going to cover up this part for right now. But as you guys are coming on in, go ahead and tap that screen. Remember, as we're coming here for this time, let me cover this half. Remember, if we can get 1K, if we get that 1,000 likes in here, then I can get started. So go ahead, come on in. Hopefully everyone's doing well. We have roughly like around 22 people in here. We just need to start doing mad taps. So then I can show you exactly how to find the equation of the line when given a table and or given two random points. Okay? So let's see who's here. All right. I see Ballish, good. Tevin, how are you? Greta, thanks for coming in. Drew, we have April. All right, we have Jose. Okay, we have Main Street. Hey, Robert, how are you doing? Congratulations to Robert for getting, he should have by now, over 1,000 followers. I'm telling you, I felt the joy, Robert. I felt it in my heart and my soul. You deserve it, okay? So good job. Keep it up. Before you know it, you're all the way up here. Hey, Marvelli, how are you? Welcome on in. Okay, everyone, we are going to go step by step, and that is true. I do stay true. If that means I only have to do like 2 problems, I will do 2 problems. I only can stay for at most an hour and 15 minutes. So the closer and the quicker we can get to that 1K for 1,000 likes, the better life will be. Hey. Yeah, my energy says the house got clean. It got clean to a point. And then I had to stop. I didn't know how dirty my house really is. That's how it happens. It gets like all dusty and stuff, and you're like, oh dear God. And then now when you clean one area, you're just like, now I gotta clean that area. So it never stops. Hey Janice, how are you? All right, we're almost there, guys. We're at 977. So we're about to get started soon. I'm going to show you exactly how to find the equation of the line looking at a table. There we go. And boom goes the dynamite. All right. So first thing, let's refresh our memory. What is the equation of the line? Let me zoom in for all my peeps. And every time I zoom, I always like take over my whole entire screen. There we go. So there we are. All right, so the equation of the line is simply y equals mx plus b. A lot of people will probably say it's slope-intercept form because you need 2 things in order to create this equation of the line. You need the slope, which is your m, and you need a y-intercept. Now, the y-intercept, that's when your x value is 0, and then you have a number for the y. All right, so sometimes you could find it rather quickly when it comes to a lot of these word problems or when it comes to a lot of these test examples. So when we're looking at this, sometimes we could just pick it on out, and then sometimes we're going to have to calculate it. So looking at this first one, we have our table, and then we actually used this table once before. So it's just like recycling right now. So I know that when I look at this, right away I go to my x values to see when my x is 0. And I notice that my x is 0 right here. And then I have a y value of 3. That is your y-intercept. That's your b. So that 3 is in the same spot where your b is going to be. So right away, boom, I already got y equals. I'm going to leave a space for the slope, but I know my b is a positive 3. So I'm going to put plus 3. Okay, so we're almost there. So now we just need to figure out our slope. And if you recall, last time we did this, which was yesterday, we said that slope is basically the change of your y's over the change of your x's. In this case, we can say it's the pattern of your y's over the pattern of your x's. If I look here, I got negative 3, 3, 9, 21, 33. And you're probably saying, well, wow, Audrey, I don't know. It's really hard for me to see a pattern because first I can say, all right, we went probably up 6. And then from 3 to 9, we went up 6. But then when I went from 9 to 21, we're not going up 6 anymore. But here's the change. Look at your x's. My x's are not going up at a constant rate either. So if I'm like, I got negative 2, 0, 2, then it jumped to 6, then it went to 10. So now, since it's really hard for me to just pick up what the pattern is, I'm going to have to go to my equation. And then this is when the fight broke out in some of my people. Because a lot of people would say, well, the formula should be y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. But then I threw a wrench in it and said, yeah, that will work. Or you can say y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. You will get the same answer for slope. Okay, and I proved that. And again, you can go to my YT channel, which is right here. Okay, go and type in ACG Math Tutoring, and you can take a look because all the videos, even the video that I did this afternoon, is already up on there. So if you want to take a look, there's something that says TikTok Lives. Have fun, take a look at the videos, and you will see how I proved that you can do either one and get the same answer for your slope. All right. So now we're going to take a look. We're going to pick 2 sets of points. Now, I like to go with these points, upper and lower. I always do that. I don't know why, I just do. So since this is the first points that I got, this will be my x1 and my y1. And since this is the second set of points, this will be my x2 and my y2. Now, since we like to stick with the x2 or the y's, 2's, and 1's, we'll do those first in blue. So we got our slope. We have a 33 minus a negative 3. Then we have our 10 minus a negative 2. All right. So when you minus a negative, that means that bad boy is going to turn positive. So 33 plus 3 will give me a 36. And 10 plus 2, because minus a negative turns positive, this will give me a 12. So 36 divided by 12, that can be reduced to what? Hello, Discipline. How are you? Okay. We can actually break it on down to 3 over 1 because 36 divided by 12 will give me that 3. So you can say 3 over 1 or you can simply say 3. Good. There you go. Addicted to success. I just switched to my other account. Oh, okay. I was like, what's happening? Who's addicted? What's going on? Okay, got you. All right, so that's your slope. So all we have to do is come back to our equation. So it will be y equals, my m was 3. So y equals 3x plus 3. Now, if you don't believe, or if you want some extra proof to say that this is my equation for all of this, we're going to pick a set of points. It doesn't matter which set. It really doesn't. Pick a set of points for me. An x and a y. Which one do you want to use? Okay, pick a set of points. Don't be scared. Pick a set of points. Okay, 21, 6. All right. So we said, 2 and 9. I was going to say, I don't have 21, 6. All right, so I'm seeing 2 and 9. Okay. So the 2 is my x values. The 9 is my y value. So this is saying we want to know if I plug the 9 in for the y, I want to know if 3 times that x, which is 2, plus 3, I want to know if it will give me this 9. 3 times 2 gives me 6. 6 plus 3, guess what? That gives me 9. So we have 9 equals 9. That is a true statement because 9 can equal itself. So that's telling me that that 2/9 does work for that equation. So if you ever want to check, you can keep checking, but here's the thing, my loves. Okay, 6/21. Here's the thing. When it comes to any of those assessments, GED, ASVAB, AccuPlacer, and now I'm learning even the police entry exam, if there's any kind of multiple choice, you only have so much time. Okay, so one thing, you're taking a look at the table, take a look at your x's, see where your x is equal to 0. That's going to be your y-intercept. Let me make sure I have the right colors. Okay, so that's going to be your y-intercept. Okay, so that's your B. Then you can pick 2 sets of points. We can find it algebraically, which could be your y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. It doesn't matter as long as you keep with the same pattern. But remember, it's to change the difference of your y's over the difference of your x's. Okay? And this is how you get your equation of the line. Okay? Nothing too crazy, nothing too crazy. All right, so let's try the next one. Okay, so we have our table. Taking a look. Right away, I go to the x-axis. I'm going down, seeing where the x is 0. So that means my B is going to be what? Muna, how are you? Yes, Remy. Good. All right. Okay, so my B or my y-intercept is going to be 1. Okay, just these little tidbits can save you a lot of time and a lot of energy. So right away, I'm going to say my equation is going to be y equals, give some space for the slope, x, and since it's a positive 1, my B is going to be plus 1. But now, I need to take a look for my m. My m is the slope. So I need to take a look. What's the pattern of my y's over the pattern of my x's? Okay? Pattern of my y's. How did I go from -3 to -1? -1 to 0, 1 to 3, 3 to 5. What's the pattern? Is there a pattern? Star is saying there's a pattern of 2. Do we agree? Yeah. Sweet One is saying 2 as well. El Wapo El Wapo saying +2. Good. Okay, so that +2, good, discipline, or addicted. Here we go. Ever, how are you? That's 2, good. So my y's, basically my pattern of my y's is 2. What's the pattern of my x's? Besides them leaving. Sorry. They're lost. No, I'm just kidding. What's the pattern of my x's? Okay, so Remy, good. Mela, good. The same one. So we found our slope. Okay. Oh, good. Good to see you back. All right. So good. El Bloque? Is that what it is? Like Luna, good. Lana, close to saying Donna, good. So we found our slope. So we don't have to do that crazy calculations that we just did for the previous one. All we have to do now is just substitute it into our equation. So your equation of this line is going to be y equals 2x plus 1. That's it. And if you want to try it out, if I plug the 2 in for the x, I should get a 5 as a result. So 2 times 2 gives me 4 plus 1 gives me 5. If I plug the 1 in for the x, 2 times 1 gives me 2 plus 1 gives me 3. That's what we need as a result. Okay? And that's how you know you're right on top. All right? So for the next one, what is my y-intercept? What is my y-intercept? Okay, Lana's saying 4. Melina is saying 4. Muna is saying 4. Remy saying 4, 8. Not 4, 8, Remy. Star saying 4. Mia saying 4. Okay, Vicky saying 4. There you go, Remy. There it is. Okay, what was different? For the y-intercept, we're looking when the x value is 0. And I know it's so tempting because this 8 has a 0, but that 0 is not a y. This 8, 0, that's called your x-intercept. The x-intercept is when your y value is equal to 0. We're looking for that y-intercept. Okay? So this is how we're getting it, Stephanie. We're looking when the x value is equal to 0. Our y-intercept is going to be its 4. Okay, do you see it now? All right. So your y-intercept is always, all right, awesome. Your y-intercept is always when your x value is equal to 0. The number that's in the y, that's your y-intercept. That's your b. Okay? I'm not trying to pretend I'm cursing. Like, no, that's your that's your b in the formula. So we can already get it set up with y equals, give some space for the slope, and since it's a positive 4, we put plus 4. So now we need to find our slope. And remember, the slope is the pattern of your y's over the pattern of your x's. Okay. Because 0 is on the y line, because 0 is your x. So when your x value is 0, when you go on the y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. So that's when your x value is going to be 0, your y value is going to be 4. Okay? So now we need to know the pattern of our y's over the pattern of our x's. What's happening with our y's? And some people are putting it as 2/4. We got a 2 and a 4. We got our y is -2, so the pattern is -2. All right. So Forever saying 4 over -2. El Wapo is saying 4 over -2. Lana is saying -2, 4. So the x is 4 and the y is -2. William's saying -2. Okay. So, hey, Cookie. So if we're going down 2. So we start at 6, then we go to 4, then we go to 2, then to 0, then -2. So your y's are going down. So if they're going down, that's going to be negative. Okay. Now, looking at my x's from -4 to 0, 0 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 12, it's adding 4. So it's increasing 4. So it's a positive 4. Let me slide that over so y'all can see. All right. So now that means we're going to have a negative slope, but this can be reduced. 2 and 4 are both even numbers. They could be reduced by what? Okay, Maya saying -1/2. Mona saying -1/2. Okay, Reese is saying -1/2. Good, guys. There you go, Kai with -1/2. Yes. And this is how they're getting the -1/2. Since 2 and 4 are both even numbers, they can be divisible by 2. So if I divide both that numerator and that denominator by 2, -2 divided by a +2 gives me a -1. And then 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. Okay, that's how you're simplifying. Okay, that's how you simplify fractions. So this -1/2, that's your slope. Okay, so here I'm putting -1/2. So my equation of the line is going to be y equals -1/2 x plus 4. Okay, good, Addicted. There you go. Good, Lana. Good. All right. How are we feeling so far? Why don't we stop there? Why you mean, why don't we stop here? Well, you just want to stop here? With days and times, I'm usually here every day. My usual night is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 7 p.m. Today I came on a little earlier, threw a lot of people off. Sorry. But Mondays through Thursdays, I'm usually here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But here's the thing. My students are starting to come back. So my afternoon and my evenings are going to start packing up. So I might have to change my dates again. But that's what my dates and times are for right now. And if there are a change, I will actually pin it on my profile. If there's any change in the dates, like really a major change. Okay. Beautiful. Why are you feeling really dumb? What's going on? Oh, okay. Yeah, there isn't any more steps. That's it. I was like, are you ending my live for me? What's going on? All right. Not a problem. Okay. Yeah, you can join in at any time. Yeah. I'm not at that level yet. I don't have like a paid subscription and all that. Right now, everything is pretty much on the up and up, unless you need like my tutoring service or my my courses or my notebooks. All of that, yeah, that's money. Okay, everything else that I do on here is generally free. All right, thank you. Aw, the little corgi. Am I good with geometry? Yes. Is it my love and my heart and my soul? No, especially proofing, but everything else around besides proofing, I'm really good at. Okay. All right, look, Jan, you're back again. Yes, I am going to do another problem because guess what? It's right here. All right, J-Dub, anticipating. All right. So what grade do I normally teach? 7th through adults. So anything with algebra, a little bit of geometry. Algebra 2 is really my jam. So is college algebra. Yeah, so most of like the basic, the foundational maths, I'm really pretty good at. Okay, I try. All right. So, what is my equation of the line? Remember, I just need two things. Okay, I need two things. I need the slope and I need the y-intercept. Okay, all of a sudden the heart slowed down. What's wrong? What's happening? Everybody's like, wait, wait, what? Ah, thank you, Mona. Okay, now we're gonna have to do a little bit. Yes, concentration. Everybody's like, wait, hold on. Now, the 8 and the 0, that's your x-intercept. We don't want the x-intercept. We want the y-intercept. So when I look in the x values, I want to know where is my 0. This time they're not giving me one, but it doesn't mean that there isn't one. We're going to have to play a little game here. But before we can do that, let's find our slope. Okay, but we can definitely find slope, right? Okay, that's all right, Reese. Breathe, baby, breathe. You guys are too high strung. It's Saturday. Calm down. It's okay. All right, so we know how to find slope. All right, we're going to take this step by step. So right now, if we want to find slope, we can look at the pattern of our y's over the pattern of our x's. So when I go from 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to 0, what am I doing? How do I get from 4 to 3? What do I do? Okay, so kind of saying -1. I try to make it interesting. Good. I keep saying discipline. Addicted, saying -1, my -1. Hey, how are you? Welcome in. Okay, you're subtracting 1. Good. All right. Subtracting 1. Good. All right, beautiful. Do you see that? Do you see? If I did 4 minus 1, I will get 3. If I did 3 minus 1, I will get 2. If I get 2 minus 1, okay, cool. Oh, okay. If I do 2 minus 1, I will get 1. All right? So that's the pattern of my y's. Now, the way that we find slope, it is the pattern of your y's over the pattern of your x's. So we know that the pattern of my y's is -1. Okay? So that's half the battle. So now we need to take a look at our x's. Not our physical x's, but you know what I'm saying. I have from -4, -1, 2, 5, and 8. Okay. So what's the pattern from -4 to -1, 1 to 2, 2 to 5, and 5 to 8? Okay. All right. So we got, Collins got me something. Kaya saying plus 3. Addicted plus 3. Muna plus 3. Mabelli is laughing at me. Remy is 3. User is 3. Reese is plus 3. Okay, beautiful. Are you okay? Okay, do you see why it's plus 3? Oscar saying plus 3. Thank you, everyone. Okay, because all we're doing is looking at the pattern of our y's and our pattern of our x's. All right. Okay, thank you. I was supposed to say you might want to change that. All right. Okay. They're filtering some comments. Ooh, what kind of nastiness you guys are putting in there? You're nasty. Okay. No, when you mention X. Okay. Yes, you see. Okay. All right. So all we're doing is finding our pattern. So if you don't see it up here with the negatives, go ahead and do the cheat code down here. How did I get from 2 to 5? I add 3. How did I get from 5 to 8? I add 3. So now that's the pattern of my x's because I keep getting the same answer of 3 when I did the 2 to 5 and the 5 to 8. Okay. Now that's my slope. So now we need to find our y-intercept. So this is when it's a little bit twisted. So we're going to pick -4 and -3 is positive. Say that again. -4 and -3 is positive. Been filtered. Okay. You mean -1? -1, -1 and -3. Try again, beautiful. Try again. Okay, so I think because since the pattern of my y's was down 1, that makes it a -1. Since the pattern of my x's was a positive 3, my denominator is 3. Okay. All right. Asking if -4 and -1 is 3. Oh, yes. So -4 plus 3 will give me a -1. Yes, that's correct. Okay. All right. We're on the same page. Got you. All right. So we found our slope, and this is where it's going to get a little twisted. Okay. Hello, everyone. Now, remember that equation, y equals mx plus b? Remember that lovely equation? We can substitute that -1/3 in for the m because that's your slope. But we're looking for our b. Okay? So I know just by looking at the table, my 0 is somewhere in between this -1 and 2. So instead of me trying to fake the funk and try to figure out where it is, I'm going to pick one of the points and I'm going to make it real easy for myself. All right, I want to see, let's see, what can I do? I'm going to pick -1 and 3. I'm going to pick this to substitute in for my x and y. The reason why I'm doing this is I want to find my value of b. I want to find my y-intercept. So I'm going to plug in the -1 for the x. And I'm going to plug the 3 for the y. Okay? Don't disappear because you're like, oh my God, this is so hard. Relax. You're going to be faced with this. We're going to face your challenge head on. And you're together. So take a breath. Exhale it out. Relax. You're not being graded on this. Okay? You're not being graded right now. You're not being judged. We're just going to take it step by step. Okay? Okay. All right. So now, if I multiply a negative times a negative, that's going to give me a positive. So now 1/3 times 1, that will give me 1/3. I'm going to bring down the plus b. I'm going to bring down the equals 3. Okay. Now, it's not going to be 9. I think some people put 9 there. Remember, this is 1/3. We want to solve for b. So we need to get the b by itself. So that means this 1/3, I need to move to the other side. I'm not multiplying it. I have to physically subtract it. Okay? So I have that whole number minus 1/3. Because if I minus 1/3, over here, the 1/3s are going to cancel out. So now I have a whole number of 3 minus 1/3 equals b. I'm going to transfer this over here to give myself a little more room. So I'm just going to rewrite it right here. 3 minus 1/3 equals b. Okay. The reason why I subtract that 1/3 is I wanted to get b by itself. Now the b is by itself. So now we need to have, yes, J-Dub, a common denominator. Okay, so that means I need to change this 3, make it into a fraction by putting 1 over. But I need to have a common denominator. Well, what number does 1 and 3 both have in common? They both have a 3 in common. So this 1/3 is going to stay exactly the way it is. But for me to change this fraction into a mixed number, or really an improper fraction, I need to multiply this 1 by 3. So to change this 1 to a 3, I need to multiply it by 3. Whatever I do in the denominator, I have to do in the numerator. So that's where people are coming up with a 9. But remember, it's going to be 9 over 3. Okay, let me pause right there. Let it marinate. Okay. Oh, hello, Carmela. How are you? All right, let me marinate. How are we doing? Okay. All right. So, somebody had it earlier. I think it's Muna. Yes. So now we have a common denominator. We can go ahead and subtract the numerators. So 9 minus 1, that gives me 8. But it's really going to be 8 over 3, or 8/3. That's going to be what your b is. And you're probably like, oh, okay, well, I can make it into a decimal. Now, this is the part right here that you're going to have to look at your answer choices. Okay? If you left it as 8/3, that's perfectly fine. Okay? If you're doing SAT, ACT, and you have like those gridded response, you can leave it as 8/3. That's perfectly fine. So now we're coming up with our equation. So our equation is y equals, we found our slope, which was negative 1/3 x, and we found our y-intercept, which is a positive 8/3. And then you can leave it just like that. Now, you're saying, well, Audrey, couldn't I use it as a decimal? Well, I know this is a repeat decimal. This is like 2.6666666. I had to keep going because I want to call him up. So since it has a repeat decimal, I was seeing a lot of 2.67s. If you see decimal being rounded, that might be your answer. If you see 2.6 with a line over top of the 6, sometimes that might be an answer. So it all depends on what is happening in the answer choices. But majority of the time, I usually like to keep it as a fraction. I know it's an improper fraction, but hey, that's okay. You don't have to turn it into a mixed number. I know we're obsessed with mixed numbers because it's been engraved in our head to do that, but you don't have to, okay? All right. All right. How are we feeling? I know that was a lot. That was a lot. But that's going to be your y-intercept. If I had to graph it, yes, I would say, all right, 2.6, and I would just plot roughly between the 2 and the 3. A little bit more towards the 3 than the 2, but I would make like a big enough dot. That's how I usually cheat it. Just make a big enough dot for it to be like, yeah, it's around here somewhere. And then you just plot that point. Okay. All right. Jan, what's wrong? What's happening? Why are you sad? Why are people sad? What do you think? I'm like completely done? No, I still got like a half an hour left. Okay. Well, people will tap. It's all right. If they can tap, that'll be awesome. If they can't, they can't. It's a free thing, free concept. But we're going to do more practice with this because what we're going to do next deals with 2 points. Okay? It deals with 2 points, and we're going to be doing more practice with that. So some of it may be fractions, some of it may be whole numbers. We'll see what happens. Okay? Okay. I know. And it's okay. It's okay. But here's the thing. Now you don't have to worry about being that little girl that was afraid to say anything in class because everybody didn't want to do math and even the teacher didn't want to do math. And they're like, okay, if we can get through this, then we can get extra time in recess. Everybody wants extra time in recess. You don't want to be that person that's going to raise their hand like, I don't understand. Yeah, you will be exiled. No kickball for you, no jump rope, no double dutch, none of that. So no one wants that. So that's why they always are just very quiet. Now you get the opportunity to learn it, to ask your questions, okay? Don't be afraid to ask your questions. Plus, it makes the life more festive. Yeah. Right. And that was you, no lie. I know, because that was me too, beautiful. That was me too. I know, I feel like we're doing another Me Too movement for a different reason. But yeah, that was me too. That was me as well, I should say. All right, so what I'm going to do this time, thank you so much for tapping. I appreciate you. You had to hire a tutor? Yep. The tutor, hey, and that's exactly what I do now. I used to be a classroom teacher, and I just decided, look, I got tired of the emails about meetings, the meetings about emails, people saying that, oh, you should do this for the children, and they are home chilling with their families. I just got tired of the foolishness, but I still love to teach. I still love to instruct. So that's why I'm here. And there's nothing wrong with it. Independent study. Oh, I know. I don't know why people do that. You're like, I struggle with math. So why are you giving me independent study? So basically you want me to teach myself because we don't have enough teachers in the classroom. Got it. So are you paying me? Because this is ridiculous. Yeah. I get it. Yes, no problem. I know. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I try. Okay, so for people that had me yesterday, because this is what we did a lot of before. We looked at finding slope numerically. I'm going to be using basically the same points, but this time we're trying to find the equation of the line. So if I may, let's see if we can find our slope again. So this time I gave you 2 points. So this is your x and y for the first point, hence the 1s. This is your x and y for the second point, hence the 2s. Okay? Since we normally read from left to right, that's how I labeled them. Okay? If you live in a country that they read from right to left, then you could label it just the same. Okay? So now, remember, it is the difference of your y's over the difference of your x's. So you can go, like I like to say, go from left to right, or you can go the traditional route with the y2 minus the y1. This is the part that gets a lot of people, not the y's. When I do y2 to y1, you guys are perfectly fine with the y's. It's the x's that screw you up, just like in life. Them x's just be messing you all kinds of up. Then all of a sudden, here comes a nice person, and you don't know how to act because you've been so traumatized. So all of a sudden, you forget that you have to go with this x2 minus this x1. Then you naturally go with the x1 to the x2. And you're like, why am I getting this wrong? Because you're telling your brain, okay, read opposite. Okay, now you redirect. That's exactly what your brain does. So why are you fighting it? Why? You got enough stuff to think about. Okay, we wondering why people are fighting over Gino when Jasmine is having a baby with another guy. She wanted an open marriage. We got to talk about 90 Day Fiance, right? We got to organize that stuff in our brain. Not math, that. So here we go. I like to go from y1 to y2 because it's just a natural flow. So that'll be -3 minus -2. If you still love to do it the other way, go ahead. You're going to get the same answer. So now you got your 2 minus 0. All right. Let me straighten up my 2's a little bit. So now when you minus a negative, that's going to turn positive. So it's actually going to be -3 plus 2 over 2 minus 0. So -3 plus 2, that will give me my -1. And then 2 minus 0, that will give me 2. All right, so yes, we have that. It should be a -1/2. 0 minus 2 is -2. Yep. So again, I'll show you. So if you did it the other way, you have -2 minus a -3. And then you have your 0 minus 2. So when you minus a negative, it turns positive. So it's a -2 plus 3 over 0 minus 2. So -2 plus 3, you have $3. You spent 2. That means you still have $1 left over. And then you have -$2. You didn't spend anything. You're still in the hole $2. So if you notice, you're basically getting the same answer, which is both a -1/2. Okay. Oh, no thank you, babe. Appreciate it. Okay, so you get the same answer. Okay, you get the same answer. Now, we're going to pick that slope. And we need to find, since we need to find the equation of the line, we need to pick our y-intercept. what do you think your y-intercept is? What do you think your y-intercept is? Look at your ordered pairs. Which one's the y-intercept? Okay, Muna saying 0, -2. Okay, why is the -2 in parentheses? Every time I'm subtracting a negative number, I always put it in parentheses. Because if you just put -3 minus 2, that's incorrect. That means you replace the negative with your minus instead of doing a negative times a negative. Okay, so I always put my negatives in parentheses when I'm subtracting. Okay. So the 0, -2. So it won't be confusing. Yes. Oh, hey, how are you, Mariah? Okay. So now, if we look at it, remember the definition of a y-intercept. So the definition of a y-intercept is when your x value is equal to 0. Your x value is equal to 0. So that means this -2, that's your y-intercept. So sometimes you kind of have to be aware of these little things, especially when you're trying to find the equation of the line. GED people, boom, this is a 4-point question. Something like this is definitely a 4-point question. Look at the work that you're putting into. Okay, yeah, we didn't have to do this twice, but you're still putting work into it. So right here, I'm looking at it. My equation is going to be y equals, my slope is a -1/2 x, and my y-intercept is -2. That's my equation of the line. Okay. All right. How are we feeling? Okay. So Carmela, we're going to get this done because you're taking it. Okay. Anything dealing with slope, linear equations, okay, they're those 4-point questions. You cannot skip those. Okay. Those like slope, system of equations, equation of the line, they are all of those are those 4-point questions. All you need is just a couple of those, and you do well with the basic math, boom, you're gonna pass. I'm dead serious when I say this. I've already had, just this summer alone, when we had like 5 people that passed their 4 people that passed the GED. One was ASVAB. Just by doing small tweaks. Okay, just by doing small tweaks. Okay. All right. Okay. Why are you lost? Talk to me. Where did I lose you at? Yeah. Okay. Well, congrats. You keep tuning in. This is fun. Okay. Don't feel. Oh, hello, Frank. How are you? Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for the gifts. Okay, how did I get the -2? Not a problem. So right up here, as one of my 2 ordered pairs, this one is already set up for my y-intercept. The reason why, my x value is 0. Since my x value is 0, that means that number, the y that's associated with it, that's my y-intercept. That's going to be the b of the equation. So since we already have it, all we have to do is just bring it on down. We didn't have to do any calculations. Okay. All right. So we're going to take it step by step. And plus, give you guys some grace because some of you guys haven't seen this stuff since you were a fetus. So you're trying to recreate your birth right now. So yeah, no. Okay. Of course, we're going to do one more. All right. So give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. All right. So let's see. Let me do this so it separates a little bit. So we got number 2. Yeah, I don't want to do that one. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so we got 4 and 3. And we have 8 and 6. All right, so I'm going to put it up here. All right, so anytime they give us 2 points, okay? Every time they give us 2 points. Ooh, yeah, it's like 7:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2 a.m. Okay. Well, thank you. So when they give you 2 points, let's label them. So since this is my first point, this is my first X and my first Y for the first point. This will be my second X and my second Y for the second point, right? So now we're finding slope. So if you want, do you want me to do y1 minus y2? Or would you rather I do y2 minus y1? Okay, you tell me because it all depends on your comfort. I know where my comfort is, but where's your comfort? Okay, y2 minus y1. Okay, all right. Okay, so we have 6 minus 3. And if other people want to do it the other way, we're going to compare our answers after this, all right? So we have 6 minus 3. So now we got 8 minus 4. So just like what I think it was Addicted. It said 3/4 because 6 minus 3 gives me 3. 8 minus 4 gives me 4. So we have our slope, 3/4. Boom, done, stop, okay? We're halfway through. Now, let's take a look at our 2 points. This time, we don't have it easy. When I look at my X, I have a 4 here and I have an 8 there. No zeros like we had the last time. Last time we had a 0, we were able to pick it out, boom, done. But this time, we need to pick one of our 2 points, and it doesn't matter which point to help us find the B. So let's pick, how about I do this? I will do it twice. The reason why I will do it twice, I'm going to use 1 point for one equation and then 1 point for the other equation to prove that it doesn't matter which one you do, okay? So let me do 4 and 3. So we write our equation. Let me keep it in, all right, I'll do this one in red. So we're starting off with y equals mx plus b. We're going to use 4 and 3. 4 is the y value of that point. So 3 is going to take over the y. My m is the slope that we just found. So that's 3/4. And the x is going to be the x value of the point, which is 4. And then we bring down our plus b. That's what we're solving for. Okay, are we all good? Okay. Hey, Janice. All right. So now, 3/4 times 4. We can do this one of 2 ways. We can put a 1 underneath the 4 to make it 4/1. we could multiply both the numerator and the denominator. Thank you. So if you do 3 times 4, that gives me 12. And then you did 4 times 1, that'll give me 4. 12 divided by 4 will give me 3. But here's something else you could do. Okay, I know I'm always doing fun stuff. If I notice that the whole number and the denominator are both the same numbers, they can cancel out. I'll say it again. Anytime the whole number and the denominator are exactly the same, they can cancel out because 4 divided by 4 will give me 1. And we don't need the 1 because guess what's left? The 3. So what comes down is actually 3 equals 3 plus b. Okay. All right. So anytime the whole number and the denominator are the same, you can cancel them out. And then what's left over is 3 over 1. But 3 divided by 1 is just simply 3. And yes, now we're going to subtract this 3 on both sides. The reason why, we want to get b by itself. So 3 minus 3 gives me 0. I don't need the 0 over here because I still have the b to bring down. But 3 minus 3 gives me 0. I need to bring the value of 0 here as a placeholder because I have nothing left on this side of the equal sign. I always have to have something. We got to balance things out. Okay? It's almost like you sitting on a seesaw. You're sitting on one end, but there's no one on the other end. Guess where you're at? On the ground, looking all sad and pathetic. No one will play with me on the seesaw. Well, what do you expect? It's 9 o'clock at night. Take your ass home. Okay? All right. So we have to have a place value over here, placeholder, so we can even out the equation. So now let's put it all together. We need our slope, which is 3/4. We need a y-intercept, which is 0. So my equation of this line is going to be y equals 3/4 x. Now, you could put plus 0, but do I need a 0 as a placeholder for the b? Not really. And most of the time when you see on the test, you're not going to see a plus 0. But would that be physically wrong? No. You're telling me that my y-intercept is at 0, 0. And I forgot who mentioned that earlier. Okay? So you could say 3/4 x. You can take either one of these two will be a correct answer. Okay? But majority of the time I'm going to tell you on all the exams, you're going to see it like this. You're going to see it like the second one. But if you have to write it out and you put a plus 0, that's not wrong. You're just adding an extra step. Okay? All right. Hey, Charmaine, how are you? Hey, Danny, how are you? Well, thank you for the rose, beautiful. All right, addicted, yes. Wow, yes. Okay, all right. So that's what I'm saying. It takes extra time. Hence, there's a reason why this is a 4-point question for the GED. This is a reason why if you see slope, that means for the ASVAB, you're like in the 50s, close to 60, okay? If you start seeing slope or equations and lines, you're in the 50s. You're doing really good. And especially most military branches, the minimum will be a 31. And I want to see if I can help you to get away from have to being shipped off somewhere in North Carolina to do their academy so you can build up your score. No one wants to do that. When you want go in the military, just go in the military. It's almost like you guys going to community college and you're taking those intermediate classes. So you're paying all this money for an intermediate class and you're not getting accreditation for it. Let's see if we can get you into college algebra. Okay? All right. Yep. You're doing great. Awesome. All right. One more. Yep, this will be my last one. I know. But I'll be here tomorrow. No worries. Okay. All right. Tomorrow night I'll be on at 7 p.m. I might sneak on during the day. I know it's football season, so that's when it gets all kinds of crazy. Because, everybody got to watch their team. But at the same time, for me, going out food shopping is so much easier after 1 o'clock when I don't have students because everybody's watching the games. Well, Ravens are playing. I think Ravens are playing tomorrow. So that'll be even better. I know the Eagles are playing on Thursday. Sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm from Philly. That's what we do. Let's see. Let's try this one. All right, so we have, I'm not trying to cause any riots. I'm not jumping on. I've always said I live in Baltimore, but I'm from Philly. Everything Philly. Flyers, Eagles, Phillies, hell, Wings, our lacrosse team, the, what is it? Oh, Bulldogs. So many things, so many places. All right, here we go. This is our X1. This is our Y1. This is our X2. This is our Y2. Can I leave you alone and see if you can find the slope? I will even bring what we did last time on down so you can use it as a reference. Okay. I know, it's the best time. And when it rains, yeah. There we go, West Coast. Okay, it's about 8:09 my time. Okay, let's see if we can figure out our slope. Okay, so don't put your answers yet. Just hold on to your answer. Type it in, but don't hit send yet. Just type it in. I'm going to tell everybody to put their answers up at once. Just to give some time for people that may need a little extra time. Okay? I just want to know what the slope is. Okay, I just want to know what the slope is. Okay. All right, put your answers down. What did you get for your slope? Let's see what you have. What did you get for your slope? All right, so thinking of better times is saying 3/1. User 4046 saying 9/3. You can reduce that, divide that. Marina said 3/4. I need to see how you do 10 more and you'll get it. Okay, not a problem. Well, thank you for your honesty. Okay, not a problem. Okay, Bam is saying 3. Carmela is saying -9, -3. And that can be reduced again. Go ahead and divide those two. Okay, Addicted said 3. Marvelli said 3. Nee said 3. There, not 1/3. Flip it. You were right before. It's not going to be 1/3. 3 when you divide it, yes. Salvation, we have a -4. Make sure, we're going to check and see what you were dividing by. Faith, you're saying 3/5. Salvation saying 4. Okay, there you go, user. There you go. So you got your 3/1, or you can just say 3. That's why you're here. Not a problem. Jay, thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that. Okay, and I will show you in a mo. Okay, any other answers? All right, so let's take a look. So You guys like to do the traditional way, okay? Do I teach calculus? I don't. I teach pre-calc, not calculus. That is not my jam. Sorry. All right, so if we take a look, remember your slope is the difference of your y's over the difference of your x's. All right, so for my y's, you guys like to go 7 minus a negative 2. Okay, it's always your y2 minus your y1, if you want to do it that way, over your x2, which is 2, minus your x1, which is a negative 1. So when you minus a negative, it turns positive. So it's really 7 plus 2. Okay, so when you substitute, that's why I always put parentheses around my negatives, because I'm only replacing the y1s or the x1s with the negative 2. I'm not changing its sign just yet. So down here you have a 2 minus a negative 1, which gives us 2 plus 1. So 7 plus 2, that gives us a 9. 2 plus 1 gives me 3. And then 9 divided by 3 will give me 3 over 1, or just 3. So that's my slope. Okay, so that will be my slope. Questions? Can you start from the left? Yes, I can. So if I wanted to start from the left, remember you go with your y's first. If you want to start with your left, that will be your negative 2 minus 7 over your negative 1 minus 2. So negative 2 minus 7, that gives you a negative 9. And negative 1 minus 2, that gives you a negative 3. So a negative divided by a negative, that will give you a positive. Because when the signs are the same, when you multiply or add, your answer is always going to be positive. And then 9 divided by 3 gives us 3. Okay, so you're going to get the same slope regardless. Basic algebra. Okay, yeah, this is algebra. Yes. Okay. All right, so no, I'm not explaining derivatives. Got it? Awesome. Now, we need to find our y-intercept. So we can pick one of the two. Okay, doesn't matter which one. Okay, we can pick one of the 2 points. I didn't do that for the other one, did I? Nope, I didn't. Because I'm sitting here looking at my time. All right, so if I do... Let me do 2 and 7, because I know a lot of people are probably like, please don't pick the negative. Okay, so we have y equals mx plus b. I'm substituting the 7 for my y. We have 3 for my m, because that was the slope. And we're taking the 2 from my point. Plus b. Okay, 3 times 2, that gives me 6. So that means you have 7 is equal to 6 plus b. And if, I'm going to take it over here, just give myself some room. So we have 7 equals to 6 plus b. So we're going to have to, yes, subtract 6, because we want to get b by itself. So that means if I subtract this 6, 6 minus 6 gives me 0. But 7 minus 6, that will give me a positive 1. That's going to be what our b is. Okay. Where's the b coming from? That's the formula of the equation of a line. Okay. I picked one of the 2 points, so I picked the positives. So the 2 and the 7. The 7 is replacing the y. The 2 is replacing the x. And the 3 came from the slope that we found. So then 3 times 2 gives us our 6. Then we subtract 6 on both sides to give us our 1. The reason why we're doing this is to find our y-intercept. So now we found our equation. Basically, we just need to put it together. So our equation is y equals my slope, which is 3, x, and my b is a positive 1, so I say plus 1. Okay. Oh, thank you. Can you do AP pre-calculus, that made up stuff? No. Okay, you got it? Awesome. Yes. See what happens when you're all nice and relaxed and situated. Don't have to worry about tests, exams. You just have to worry about learning it and following step by step. Yeah, I don't like that AP pre-calc stuff. They just need to throw that out. Do I know any resources? Well, there is a person, Robert. I don't think Robert's here today. Okay, needed me last year. He's under Main Street. I think his name is what? Robert, the AP math guy. That's his name here on TikTok. He does all AP stuff. Like, he's my go-to person when someone needs like calculus, like AP Calc, AP Pre-Calc, AP Statistics. That's his jam. Okay. So I'll see if I can type his name in the chat. Okay. So I'll just put it in the chat for you. Yeah, it really is. It's so unnecessary. I don't even know why we have an AP pre-calculus. It's almost like, why are we making up stuff? And it's so unnecessary. I'm sorry. But he can definitely break a lot of the concepts down for you. Okay? All right? Not a problem. Oh, I know. Especially when you haven't been in school for a minute and then all of a sudden you get a professor that knows the math and they'll just like, so this is where we start. And they start at the top of the page and then you blink. Like, that's all you did. You just blinked. Next thing you know, he's at the bottom of the page. You're like, well, damn. How what happened in between? I just looked down I thought someone was on my foot and I looked up and all of a sudden the whole page is filled out. See, pre-calculus is fine. The AP thing, they just do some weird extension, some stuff that they took from IB and just threw it in together with pre-calculus. And here's the thing, a lot of the students that are taking this AP pre-calculus, they were struggling. Oh, guess when? During the pandemic, when a lot of those basic concepts were somewhat taught. And now they're like, oh, you should know this. Oh, no, I don't. we had something called a pandemic. I can't remember that. I don't even think I was taught that, because you probably weren't taught that. You're probably just given something. Oh, I know. You failed pre-calculus 3 times. That's all right. Are you taking it the 4th? If you are, I can help you with the pre-calc. I got you. Pre-calc I can do. AP pre-calc? That can go back to the depths of hell of which it came. Big gasoline draws on. Okay. Don't be sad, babe. Don't be sad. Hell, you know how many times it took me to get my praxis for me to be a math teacher? 11 times. How do you like to always give up your Saturday, go there, take a test, come home, and have to sign up for the next test? And each test was like a good $200 a pop. I don't even know what it is now. Every Saturday that they had it offered. It sucked. But I wanted to be a teacher so badly because I knew when I was in the classroom, they allowed us to do this for a minute. Okay. They allowed us to do this for a minute. And I was given only so much time to get my certification. Because if I didn't get it, I had no job. And I worked. And trust me, math was not always my first subject. I used to suck at math when I was a kid. Terrible. Fractions? Nope. Word problems? Hell no. I was terrible at it. But I just kept at it. I kept practicing. And then all of a sudden, at the rightful age of 25, this lady says, you know, fractions is nothing but division. I was like, say what? And then all of a sudden, it started making sense. And then I started breaking things down. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I could do this. Like all this stuff that I'm doing down here, this right here, this stuff, couldn't do that. Then all of a sudden, it started making sense. Like, oh, if I'm taking 4 out of 4, I'm taking a whole. Oh. And that's how it works. So it takes practice. I went through AP during COVID. Yep. It's like everything. We're still adjusting. We are still adjusting. I have parents that I'm going through tutoring that took their kid completely out of school, and the only thing that child has learned in the past 2 years is adding and subtracting. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I have no idea. So, but I gotta wrap up. So if anything, if you guys are currently taking classes and you need assistance, do not be silent. Don't try to suffer in silence. You don't have to suffer in silence anymore. Okay. One of the things that you could do, because here's a notebook that I've actually created. And if you ever want to buy my notebook and the structure of it, you can. But this is what I really want you to know before I skedaddle, because we can see each other tomorrow, okay, at 7 p.m. I want you to go to my YT channel. Just type in this or type in my name. And I want you to subscribe. I would love for you to subscribe. I would love for you to like some of the videos. But look at the part where it has the playlist where it says TikTok Lives. All of my TikToks from February the 2nd is readily available. It's a free subscription. You don't have to worry about paying for anything. And take a look. Type in some of the concepts that you're saying, like, say, finding slope, or maybe even solving 1-step, 2-step equations. That's in there as well. So type in the search in the, magnifying glass, type in the search, and look at some of the videos. You can fast forward. You can pause. You can ask questions. Everything is there, okay? Yes, I know. It stinks. Sat down on TikTok and looked up factoring. Awesome. And I have factoring videos on there as well. So if you need assistance with factoring, that's there. I think the part that a lot of people struggle with the factoring, if I may show this, can I have 2 minutes? I swear I'll be ready. I swear. My friend's just looking at me evil. She's like, "Itch, I'm hungry." I'm like, I know. All right. So if anything, I have in my math notebook, I have a factor sheet. So like say you want to find the factor of, 84. So here we go. Let's see where we can find 84 at. All right, here we are. So here's 84. And then these are going to be the factors of 84. So say that you're trying to do factoring, or maybe even try to simplify, radicals. So if I was trying to simplify the square root of 84, 4 and 21, that's going to be our perfect square roots, because 4 is perfect, 21 is prime. So you can break it down that way. You can use these numbers to help you find out what is the factors of 84. What two numbers multiply together will give you 84 and add together to give you 20? Let's see. All right, here's my 84. Add together to give me 20. I don't know. All right, maybe 20 wasn't a good example. Add together, give you 19. There we go. All right, that'll be 7 and 12. And then from there, you can take it and run with it. All right? Okay? Not a problem. Good. So you could, because I have that in the back of my notebook. I also have other references to kind of help us remember. Let me unzoom just a bit. Okay, then we have our inequalities, interval notations, our rules of integers, the things that we constantly keep forgetting. All right, then we have the linear. Oh, this looks familiar. Slope. Oh, wait, that looks familiar. Equation of the line. All right, so we have those different types of things. We have the order of operations, properties of exponents. We have the decimal operation, the fraction operation. Okay, we have the different ways of breaking it down. This is dealing with place values. Some people forget how to round. It's there. How to do the distance and speed and time. Here, if you're looking for speed, okay, boom. That means you need to divide the distance and the time. You're looking for distance, boom. You need to multiply the speed and time. Measures essential tendencies, arithmetic and geometric sequences, and like their rulings. Then you have a system of equations, system of inequalities. Reference with the Pythagorean theorem, little bit of a trig. We were kind of doing some stuff with that today. Volume, surface area, area and perimeter, as well as your conversion chart. Okay, all this wrapped into a math notebook that you have a section where you can put your formulas. Okay, you can put your formulas in, you can write your steps down. Maybe like here when we're dealing with plotting points. Okay, everything is in here. Okay, and if you would like to purchase your own, there is one for Algebra and Algebra 1. That's what this one is. And then I have another one for Algebra 2 and Pre-Calculus. And the difference is what's happening in the back portion of the book. Okay, I got to wait to order my other one. And if you are left-handed, I got a lefty book for you. I got a lefty series. And the lefty series is basically if you purchase it through Books by Audrey. This. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I'm glad you say how much. Thank you for doing that. Starting next month, because next month, September, that's my birthday month. So to celebrate with everyone, I'm basically taking all my books and I'm cutting it to 50% off. Okay, so you're basically getting the book like roughly, I think it's like $13 around there, not including shipping. But it's definitely less than what I'm doing right now. So I have to take a look at it again because right now I'm all kinds of loopy. But I only have that here. So that discount is only going to happen for the whole month of September, only at this link here. It's also on sale for the A. The left-handed books are not on sale at the A because the A, you know, the brown box with the smiley face, does not sell left-handed books. I don't know why they won't create left-handed books. Like, I have no idea. But if you do want the left-handed books or any of those books with the discount, it's going to come from here. So I'm going to also send that as a reminder tomorrow. Thank you for saying hi much. To be your birthday. Oh, that's okay. No, it's going to be the whole entire month. But my actual birthday is not until the end of the month. You know. Okay, so which one? GED related stuff? It will be this book here. Okay, this one will be more the GED related. Okay, so I will be setting all of that up actually tomorrow, but the sale will begin September 1st, which is on that Monday, and you guys have the whole entire month to make purchases. If you want to buy 2 books, you can buy 2 books because I know you're going to need more than one because I write rather large because of the presentation. Okay, so I know. All right, I'm coming. Okay, so I got to get going. Okay, don't look at book number 6 because book number 6, that if you want copies of my notes, I have this thing called Audrey's Notes. Okay, so with Audrey's Notes, you actually get a color copy. It's a whole book of all my notes. Well, not all of them. Of my notes that I do here on TikTok. Okay, so this one is book 3. And if you notice at the bottom of the sheet, there is a QR code. If you scan this QR code, it will take you directly to the YouTube video of the live that goes in connection with the title. So writing equations of lines review. Hey, that seems familiar. Okay. So we have like the formula, we have the equation, we have the graphing, and it'll show you step by step. These will also be in sale as well because these are usually $25. I'm really dropping the price for this one. Okay. So wait until the 1st. See, not too many people will tell you that. I would tell you to buy it right now, but see, I worry about your pockets sometimes. Okay. So if you're thinking about that, I have 5 books already. So this is book 6. So that's what book 6 sorry means. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, everyone. I will see. Zoe, what is that? It's only about, she says, this will be great for you and the boys. Okay. All right. I don't know what's happening, but here we are. Okay. So, if anything, yes, go ahead and follow me. I will be on again tomorrow, definitely at 7 p.m. We're going to continue on our journey through the equation of the line. We might be going into graphing. I think I'm going to go into graphing, and if not, we're going to also do point slope. Some people like point slope, some people don't. And then you get to pick if you want to do it slope-intercept form or point slope. All right. Okay. Awesome. Oh, thank you. Okay. Yes. Remember name Grace. Yes. Okay. Grace. So if you guys need assistance with your classes, if you need a tutor, please do not hesitate because right now this is the best time to start getting me because a lot of my students are starting to come back and I want you to get precedence because you're here. All right. Okay, everyone. So when is book 6 available? That's going to be available as soon as it fills up. And we just started with it. So we got a nice little month. Okay, the way that I've been going, I think we have like a good month. Probably like the end of this month, maybe the beginning of the end of September, possibly. Okay, if I keep going on my once a day videos spam. Okay. All right. I do not have book 5 because I don't physically have book 5. After a while, I was just like, why I keep buying my own books? Let me show you a sample. All right. Okay, everyone, have a good night. If you need me, please DM me and I'll definitely get back to you either later on tonight or possibly tomorrow morning. All right. Have a great evening. Stay safe. Take care. All right. Yes, book 5 is at the A. Yes. All right. Take care now. Bye now.